And welcome to the Simmbros pod.
Woo! 10 of them things, man.
Episode 10.
Episode 10.
I'm Chris.
I'm Cam.
And together, we're the Simmbros.
And we're here to help you win your 20s. Wow.
I think that's the first time we've done the intro without having to restart.
And we did restart.
One time? Oh, yeah. Damn. Never mind.
Bro, I was like, well.
I thought we did. I thought we didn't have to restart.
Yeah, well,
Normally, it takes us
we'll get it next time.
so long to do the intro because one person says one thing, or usually it's actually me.
I'm about to say, I've been good so far.
Usually it's actually me messing up, but I have more on my plate than you.
But it says two things.
Episode 10, though.
Wow.
Round number.
I gotta love it. I mean,
1/10 of the way to 100.
I'm just reminiscing on episode 1 and how. Look, I know this is probably still choppy, but how much more choppy episode 1 was.
I mean, we didn't even know what we were doing.
Man.
And then episode 4, when the mic went out halfway through, and we didn't know.
Sorry about that, by the way.
We saw. I mean, no one listened, but we saw a notification on something, and it said, and we were just like, well, whatever, it could be anything. And then we go back to the clips, and the microphone is out. You can hear the dishwasher or the washing machine.
That was rough.
Yeah,
but
we're back.
Y'all stayed through it.
Episode 10, that's a round number, baby. People don't even make it to episode 10.
No,
Podcasts don't even make it to episode 10.
We're not going to stop it anytime soon.
No, why not? Even though it might take a while.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah.
And I think like we talk about in any other situation, it's all about the journey.
The one thing,
if you're happy in the journey, you're going to get to the result.
Yeah.
It's almost like a guarantee. That's why I'm like, yeah.
One thing you'll guarantee for us is that we won't stop. It doesn't matter. It hurts. We won't stop, though.
Unless somebody asks.
No, I mean, please. Who wants to buy us out? But whatever.
True.
So a year ago today, or near a year ago today, you moved.
Near ago today. Exactly.
Up to the Bay.
Exactly
how is that feeling? Are you reminiscing? Or, 1 year in the Bay, what's your thoughts?
Man. 1 year ago today, moved up here. Like, the Cam I am now is so annoying that I'm saying this. I hear you. You're like, shut up, Cam. I hear you, though.
I didn't say that, but I'm thinking it.
I'm talking to them.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Thanks for thinking it. But the Cam I am today is a completely different Cam than the one that drove up here a year ago.
Wow.
Completely different.
I remember you and Mom leaving, driving up.
Yeah.
Leaving me and Dad at the house.
Yeah, because I was that.
Yeah, it's fine. We did nothing broke.
Okay, good. Hopefully some lights were on.
Happy anniversary to the fam, by the way.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
This is coming out on Monday, but it's
fine.
their anniversary today.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah. So many experiences, so many trials, tribulations. I mean, I lived in a studio apartment, a pretty bad studio apartment in a bad neighborhood for 8-ish months.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first 4 months of that were like amazing.
Yeah.
It's just because it was new, it was fresh. My job was like so easy, and I was killing it. It was like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
So the first 4 months that were great. Football season came around, thank God, in November because that's when everything started to like turn for the worse.
Yep.
I wouldn't say turn for the worse, but just like the shine wasn't there.
Yeah, exactly. Your life has just become mundane at that point.
Right. And moved up a little further with you a few months later, which is crazy because you've been here for how long?
I think 4 months now.
4 months.
March, April, May, June. Yeah, this is month 4. It actually is crazy how fast it moves.
June? It's almost July.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. Because I was looking at my LinkedIn a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And it was like...
it's always one ahead.
It is one ahead, but it was like 5 months. And I'm like, whoa, 5 months is crazy. So, yes.
Man,
by the way,
fast.
It does move fast. By the way, he is right when he says that apartment was horrible. I had to stay there for a week while this apartment was getting ready. Oh, my. I've never been a part of something like that before. The shower. The shower
was the worst.
We were too tall for the shower. And also there was no pressure.
The too tall, I'll deal with that, honestly.
I mean, really?
It was not even, and again, the pressure, I also will deal.
No, there was no pressure.
It was the fact that no matter what you did, you didn't know if the water was going to be hot or cold.
Yep. That's crazy.
And not like, oh, it's if you use too much hot water, it's going to turn cold. Like, no, I've been there and I get that. That's like easy logic. It's
Yep.
like sometimes you could put on straight cold water and it
And
could
it'll
be
hot,
burning hot.
burning.
And it's like, what, like, what am I? It was a
No, it's
two
crazy.
knob.
Yeah, I know.
thing.
Who even has 2 knob
It
showers?
was a two knob system.
Besides New York, maybe.
And another one of those, like, where you turn on the lights and the fan
Dude,
is
that was
glowing.
crazy. I didn't even know what to turn on. I was just like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
I never
That-
turned on those lights.
Yeah, I shouldn't have. I turned it on the first time. It
Yeah.
was just bad.
No.
It was literally, there was no place to even hang all of your,
No.
like, shampoo. It was all on the ground.
No, yeah, because it fell a few times. Shout out to the people at the Ave, by the way. You know about the bathroom lights thing. That's one of the apartments in
Oh,
DC.
yeah.
You turn on the light, the bathroom, the fan goes. It's just like it's
You've had some interesting.
the Ave was better than the Berks, which is where
You've
I
had
live.
some interesting apartments, haven't you? I've been pretty chill. Like,
I think I've had the most interesting apartments in terms of like people I know.
yeah. Why?
I mean, okay, so freshman year, I lived in a hotel.
Oh yeah, because COVID, crazy.
I
You
lived
didn't
in
get your freshman year dorm.
a hotel.
Like in a Marriott, right?
It was a residence.
Residence Inn. Wow.
Shout out the res.
I didn't know how you lived in a hotel, bro.
It really wasn't that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get like maid service and all that stuff?
Yeah, once a week.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not even
It
bad.
was nice to wash sheets. And
Yeah.
all that. I mean,
Okay.
and there was a place you can do laundry.
Was there like a stove and all that stuff?
Yes, stove.
In?
Yes.
Wow.
Big fridge. Like it was nice.
I think mom got Marriott points from that too, or
She-
something.
I think she
Yeah,
did.
I mean that's the only reason.
I think
why.
she got a lot.
Damn, living in a hotel. So you have a.
That was just freshman year.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, Berks. Shout out the Berks.
What
Shout
does
out
that even
Eli.
mean,
Shout
though?
out
like
Ethan.
listen, yeah, the Berks.
Oh, the
what was that?
Berkshire.
Yeah, what was?
It's
what
an
was so weird
apartment in
about that?
like, another apartment in DC, which this one was not good. It
Why
sounds
is it bad?
the
Yeah,
Berkshire.
it sounds
the
nice.
Berkshire.
Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, no. It was not. It was one of those like catfish apartments.
Yeah, it
The
looked good.
outside looks fantastic.
Yep.
The inside, like the lobby, looks great, and then you get to the rooms, and it's like, why is there a rat in the room?
What was so bad about it?
There was a rat.
There's a bat in the
There,
bathroom.
there also it was dude. I mean, like the roach infestation was crazy because it gets so humid up there.
Wow.
So yeah, we had like a roach. They call it a roach motel.
Roach Motel, yeah.
Under the sink, but that's, oh my
Really?
God. Oh my god, yeah, it was disgusting.
Wow.
It was actually disgusting.
Wow.
Shout out to Berks. Then I lived in Italy,
Yep. That's not
which
that
was
bad, right?
which was cool.
Yeah.
No. The Italy apartment was fantastic.
Yeah.
3 stories.
Wow.
Sick. Then where? Then I lived in DC, back again DC in like Glover Park. Shout out Glover Park. And then the PA,
Yeah.
and now we're here.
The Palo Alto one, I can't even. Even talking about your internship one in New York, that was funny too.
Oh my god, I
Living in a
forgot about
dorm.
that
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Lived in an actual dorm room. It was like the barracks. It
Yeah.
was the worst.
Yeah.
It was the worst. I also had the weirdest roommate.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
my-
have bad luck with roommates.
Oh no, I've had some of the best luck ever with some of my roommates, man. Shout out Eli, shout out Mac, shout out
Those
Ethan.
weren't people you chose? Eli wasn't a person. Like, did you choose?
I mean, technically, it chose Eli. I didn't even know him though.
Oh, okay, fair. I to be honest, it's a good story. I didn't know.
I
Any of
didn't. I
this.
didn't know Eli. Shout out Eli.
So wait, your freshman year, you were by yourself, obviously, because of COVID. And
no,
then,
no.
Oh,
I
you
was
weren't?
with Eli.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To be honest, I had no.
No,
idea.
I've been with Eli the whole.
Oh, I
time.
had no idea. And you chose Eli how?
All right, so me, Ethan, and this other guy who shall remain nameless for now, but it was the 3 of us, and we all were moving into the hotel.
Yep.
And we're like, we need a 4th.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find a 4th. We posted on our Instagrams, like, is anybody interested in moving?
Wow,
Blah,
I
blah, blah.
didn't remember this.
Eli, funny enough, responded to one of our stories and
Wow.
was like, "Yeah, I'm moving, or yeah, I'm coming up." And the thing is,
Crazy.
it was like Eli responded to Ethan's story because Ethan had a friend who was a mutual friend because they're both in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Mutual friend with Eli.
Okay.
So like Eli didn't even see it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it almost wasn't
It
even
worked.
supposed to happen.
Yeah. Crazy how life works.
It's crazy how it works. And then me and Ethan, true story, we flipped a coin because it was our names on the rooms.
Yep.
So we couldn't be roommates.
Yeah, each we had to get
Right.
somebody else.
So we flipped a coin who we were gonna take.
Wow, that's crazy.
And true, this is a 100% true story. I love you, Eli. You know I love you. I flipped and it was heads, which was Eli. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
and you had bad experience. Oh, this was before.
this
you
is
had
before
bad.
everything.
But yeah,
But like
yeah.
this was my first. I was like, I don't even know this guy. Like
Yeah.
I gotta live with him.
Yeah.
Dude, turns out he ends up being like one of the greatest people ever.
Crazy.
Shout out Eli. Always shout out Eli.
It's kind of crazy how life works.
It is, isn't it?
No, it really is.
Oh my God.
Like the people you find, just everything had to go right to find someone who's going to be your friend for life, right? Like that is.
Yep. And then
I think it's amazing.
I got a friend for life. For life, man. So,
all off a flip of a coin, off of living in the residence inn, and
dude, such random stuff. I know you've had some good roommates too.
yeah, I've had some great roommates.
You've had some iffy roommates.
Yeah, iffy. Yeah, they talk about, like we were talking about college. For Duke, we don't choose your freshman year roommate, so you get given one. Which I love my freshman year roommate. We're great acquaintances and friends. Like, but then after that, we were able to choose, right? So then I chose one of my best friends, Alex. We actually lived right next to each other. It was actually pretty funny. So I lived with my freshman year roommate. He lived with his roommate. But then we would always find ourselves like hanging out together. Dude, that's the same thing. Like we, you know, it's just like, oh, this would work out better than what it was, right? So then we just started rooming together from sophomore year on. But that reminds me about my apartment experience. I think I've had pretty good apartments. You went to the one when I was a senior in North Carolina.
That one was sick,
and it was also super cheap.
Which is insane.
2,100 maybe. I think it was even less.
No, and that was a very nice.
Yeah, it had everything. It had all this stuff, and it had like keyless entry and all that stuff. Yeah. But the craziest apartment I've been in was junior year. I don't think you saw it. It was called West Village, right? You think, okay, New York, West Village. It's kind of nice, right? But I went, and this was during COVID times, right? So we couldn't go before, and also it was in North Carolina. I was in LA. I probably wasn't gonna go fly over just to see an apartment. You know, let's just go by the pictures, right? It looks great.
Right.
Pictures, everything seems like it looks cool. It's kind of like in this warehousey type of building, like high ceilings. You're like, oh, it's gonna be a nice building, right? It's gonna be a nice room. And then you get into the room, and like I said, it's a warehouse. So the ceilings, the walls don't go to the ceilings. So it was pretty much like the ceiling would go maybe 12 feet high, 13, or the walls would go like 13 feet high, and that's it. Like it's open air at that point.
What do you mean
so
open air?
I can hear everything in Alex's room, and we're right next to each other. Like there's no.
How tall were the ceilings?
Ceilings were probably like 25 feet high, maybe 20 feet. Yeah. No, dude, I told you it was like a warehouse.
1 story?
Yeah, 1 story. It was like a warehouse.
Why? What?
I know. You never were there. It was crazy because we were just like
doesn't make sense.
So there was no privacy. You would close your door, and like we both had Zoom school, and we both would just be taking calls and like class calls, and I would hear Alex talking all the time. Like there was no you close your door, it does nothing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like actually crazy because I was like, how do you sell a room with it's like 3/4 walls, like 3/4 walls is what it's called or something.
I mean, that sounded like half. You said 12.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. Maybe not 25, but dude, like it was not even close to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was easily the worst experience I've ever had. I don't even know how you sell 3/4 walls, but now whenever I get an apartment, I'm making sure the walls are full and that if I close my door, I don't hear Alex's typing. He had a mechanical keyboard too.
Oh, no. Come on.
Yeah,
AJ.
He also played games too. Like he played video games, and sometimes he would be talking to people like up later, and I'm like, I got to get up. Or even if it was the other way, like he had to sleep and I wanted to stay up and do something else. Right. Like you couldn't even watch TV in the living room because there was no walls.
All right, I'm just thinking about this right now. I'm surprised you never called him AJ. I mean, I'm a nickname guy. It's the first thing that my mom.
Yeah. No, I think I just knew what his name. Like that was his name.
Hey, no problem. Either way, I think the biggest thing is you have to tour.
Yeah. No, I guess.
I didn't tour any of my apartments. Yep. I didn't tour school or college. I didn't tour anything.
Until this one, right?
This was the only one.
Yeah, you didn't tour the other one. Yeah, I mean, if you did it all, you would have been.
How would I even have gotten?
Also, how do they even tour that place?
Yeah,
like
it's actually so
really even like there's no.
What are you showing,
bro? The pool at that place.
Here's a drained pool that's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's like one of those. Listen, it's one of those apartment pools or places that you see. It's like, no, we're not.
No. For the safety of
yourself.
If you care at all about your health or safety, you do not want to step anywhere near that pool.
Yeah. Wow.
Goodness gracious.
A year in the Bay for you.
Yeah, crazy, man.
4 months for me, but hey, feeling good.
Keep climbing, man. We're gonna get there. Eventually, it's gonna become like not new. Sorry, it's gonna become like routine.
Yeah, I think. Talking about the Bay still, I think one of the craziest things is that we just got our marathon bibs, right? Our half marathon bibs. What I thought was kind of crazy is that we don't really know. Like the Bay is a huge place. Like from Mountain View, Menlo Park, then like Burlingame, South Bay, then SF. It's not. I think when I was initially coming up here, I thought, oh, it's just San Francisco.
all San
Everything's
Francisco.
like right next to each other. No. Because when I signed up for the LA Marathon, there was no ability to send your bib like to somewhere. You'd have to go pick it up.
Right.
Because they expect, okay, everyone's going to be here.
It's
but
relatively and
exactly
LA's huge.
Yeah.
But
But people who are running the SF half or SF marathon, right? They could be in Menlo Park. They could be down in Palo Alto.
It could be everywhere.
Anywhere. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's more what it was, like Mountain View, places like that, where you don't want it to go up to SF 2 times in the week. And I didn't realize that. I was like, the bay's pretty big.
Who's right? Say it.
No, I mean, you were right to
Thank
but
you.
you didn't know the bay was this big. I mean, even you were talking to, that's what I'm talking about.
No, I had no idea. I think if you're not from the Bay, you're like it's all San Francisco.
That's what I thought.
You're like it's just like it's all New York, or it's all LA. It's just a city. No.
I remember I was looking at jobs. Yeah, I remember I was looking at jobs, and it's like, oh, Mountain View, oh, Sunnyvale. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's all they're doing
no,
5 minutes.
They're not. It's not close.
Not
Especially if you live in SF, and a lot of people I know who I work with live in SF and commute all the way down to Menlo. Like, that's ridiculous. That's a lot.
That's far.
It's far. And especially when
very
you're not
far.
taking a train. Like, that's
Yeah.
a far.
Oh my,
You're taking the
that's
shuttle.
very
It's like an hour and a half, they say.
Like
Each way. Think about that. That's
Hour and a
3 hours
half?
of your day. Because it's a bus, right? So the bus has stops.
right.
I mean, it's terrible.
Wow. Commute. That's another thing. You got to care about the commute, you know?
That's important.
Like if you want to be in a big city, I fully respect that. Find a job that is in the big city.
Yeah.
The commute is so important.
It's the silent killer.
Oh, it's pretty loud sometimes.
Sometimes. But yeah, but like people don't think about it. Oh, I'll just do it. Oh, I'll just get like
Right.
No, and we learned this, like I think Scott Galloway was saying something about parents in school, right? Like making sure you live close to school. Like that's really important. Anywhere you're going to be 4 or 5 days plus a week, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the majority
you
of
need to
your
be
life.
close to it because it's just so much. And even me, like getting to Menlo office around like, 20 minutes ish. It's still like it's driving there is still, I gotta get in, I gotta drive 10 miles, right? Like it still is kind of far.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
As opposed to when you lived for school, it was like a 5-minute walk or 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And that's crazy. Back then, a 10-minute walk felt like forever.
now I'll do like I wish it was longer. I wish it was longer.
I mean, a 10-minute walk literally felt like forever. It's so.
That's
crazy.
actually such an example where,
Oh my god.
like your parents are right, or the people who are
Sometimes.
older than you, like
Sometimes.
they know, like they're at least lived experience, like all the things that you get yelled at for. Whatever.
It's a circle of life because we're gonna tell our kids the same thing.
They're not gonna listen.
No, they're not.
And
They never
then 15 years down the road, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you were right."
Yeah, maybe they started their own pod.
I wonder what the next thing's gonna be because like all the podcasts is in the rage now. Like I wonder what.
Oh yeah, I mean, interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Streaming, I feel like it's already slowly taking over.
Yeah, streaming though, I never understood streaming. It was just like, what are you doing? You're just watching a guy play a game,
Dude, not even game anymore.
Yeah, right. So that's even what I mean. Like,
Not
what
even.
they just sit on the stream?
They just talk. Yeah,
Is it like a podcast? It's just like a live show.
it's like a live show.
Wow.
Look, I mean, I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not gonna be personally watching it. I guess power to whoever is watching
That's
it.
like
Definitely
Speed,
power
That's
to.
like those guys.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
I mean, it's like sometimes people like go places and do things, but
What does that even mean? Go places.
like they'll like film me walking around Paris.
And that's
whatever.
the stream.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, I'm gonna sit down and we're just gonna like chop it up. Like here's some new music I've been dropping, which I guess is also something. But like, yeah, dude.
Kind of crazy. Life is weird, but
I think that's also us becoming old heads too, because
you think we're becoming old heads? Yeah. I think
we are,
Bro, these young kids. You're right. I don't even know what. These young kids are doing right now.
because like streaming is a big thing and like people love it.
No, I have no idea. I don't follow any.
No, of course you don't follow, but you know that it's a big.
I knew it was a thing. I don't know if I knew it was like humongous as big as you say it is, but yeah,
It's a pretty
like
big
I've seen.
thing.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I mean, I've never even.
I could tell you the top 10 streamers. I couldn't tell you the top 10 podcasts.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's like Speed. Who else?
Kai and all them.
Wow. And they just start. They just stream
start-
their life.
Yeah.
Wasn't Bryce James on one of those?
Bryce was, yeah.
crazy.
I think Broad was on. Oh no,
Broad was not on.
No, maybe not.
That would be insane.
Like Kevin Hart was doing all that.
Wow. Yeah, I guess I am an old head.
We are old. I mean, look, here's a shout out to the old people because I saw
Shout out to the old people.
I saw a clip of like this guy asked all these like 16, 17-year-old high school football players, they're like, when you think of a one-handed catch, who is the first person your mind goes to when they caught the ball? Football, right?
Mhm.
They're all like, I'm already knowing, which is the Jeremiah Smith.
Wow, there's no way.
Jeremiah Smith, who is a fantastic receiver at Ohio
Yeah,
State.
well, don't worry. We'll talk about football here.
But that's where their mind goes. They're young.
Jeremiah
And like
Smith?
for me, it's easy.
Is it?
One-handed catch. Who do you think of? First person you think of.
Oh, I'm in a tough moment. Oh, I know this. Oh, yeah, easy. Odell.
Oh
Sorry,
my
sorry.
God.
Yeah,
Wow,
sorry.
that was a little bit scary.
It took me a second.
Yeah.
I know. To be honest, I had the visual of exactly
Okay.
what he was doing in my head. I was like, who is that?
You
though?
forgot who got
Yeah.
it?
No. We were watching that Sunday Night Football live.
Either way. Oh, yeah, no. It was an insane catch. Dude, at recess, PE, we're always trying to catch it one-handed. Odell me.
Yeah.
Whatever, all that.
Wow.
And they're saying Jeremiah Smith because they're too young.
But also, like, yes, I love Jeremiah Smith, but also he hasn't even done it in the league yet. Like, this
No,
guy-
I know, but like, I'd be like,
I know. I'm just saying that's crazy,
Yes.
right? Like Jeremiah Smith still has 2 more years left in college.
yes, he does.
Which is also insane.
Which
Both ways.
is very insane.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, when they ask all these young kids, when you think of Melo, who do you think of? They all think LaMelo Ball.
Really?
Yes.
That is horrible.
Have you not seen any of these?
Not really.
Oh wow.
I'm off kilter, bro.
Yeah.
I'm on
You're even more old than I thought,
Dude, you're telling me they think of LaMelo
Yep.
Ball before Carmelo Anthony?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Dude, you have to understand these people started watching basketball when he was a Thunder. You know what I'm talking about? When he was a Rocket.
Oh, yeah, when he was a Laker.
When he was a Laker. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So like they all see LaMelo, high school, that weird Spire Academy year.
Oh yeah, and it was the
So-
same thing that we saw TikTok yesterday that said it was Ben Roethlisberger talking about saying Aaron
Right.
Rodgers is better than Mahomes,
Yeah.
and like prime Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Mahomes really isn't even in his prime yet, but I agree, and we're like right on that cusp because
Yeah.
A-Rod,
Yeah.
peak A-Rod was like when I was 11, right? He won in 2011, right? So like I was 11, you were 9.
I still think his peak. I know he
No,
won it. Yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. No, I totally agree. Like we were on that side, but like everybody else was like, this is false. And then one of
Yeah.
the comments was like, anyone who says this is false, that Pat Mahomes is better than A-Rod is like only watch football from like 2014 on.
Right. Like not yet.
Not yet.
Not 2014. More like 2019.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just
Because like 20, A-Rod was like the GOAT. Like
Yeah.
he like we're talking about back-to-back seasons, back-to-back MVPs where he's like throwing 45 plus touchdowns and less than 4 interceptions.
That's insane.
Like it really
It's a
is
joke.
and not easy throws at all. Again, he's not checking it down.
Yeah, like I mean,
You know,
you
he-
can't
he's-
do that.
he's
you
letting
can't,
it
you can't
fly.
throw 45 touchdowns and be checking down all game.
That's Tua.
Reason why? Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, he had to know.
Oh wow.
He had to know about it.
Damn. Yeah, but I mean, maybe you are just getting old, dude. That's sad.
Isn't it crazy?
No,
It's not sad. I don't
It's
think
not
it's
sad. Yeah, maybe not sad.
I don't think it's sad.
Yeah. I think we were talking about it too, right? You were saying that all the football commentators or everybody else is like, oh, people we know or people like we
Yeah.
watch.
No,
right?
yeah.
Greg Olson, like we watch these guys.
No, yeah, the color commentators, the reporters in
Yeah.
the NBA, NFL, they're all eventually becoming people we watched.
Yeah.
I never actually watched Reggie Miller,
Yeah.
so that's fair. I think he's like the last of the old guard. But
Yeah.
Brady, Romo, Perk,
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson, like they got JJ Watt.
And now like Pierce and them are doing all
Yes,
like,
Shumpert.
podcasts. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
Shumpert was like on he was
ESPN.
on the Hoop Collective
Yes.
with Brian. Like that.
Udonis Haslam, like
Yeah.
all these guys, dude. Like
Wow.
we watched them. We watched their careers. Not even we watched the end of it.
It's crazy. It goes from talking about how being in Palo Alto for a year feels so quick, and I mean it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Time just moves really fast,
time really does.
especially when you get older. Which was my theory that time moves faster when you're older, not slower.
Is that what you said?
Yes, because you've
Okay, I
lived the
agree.
same
Yeah, I agree.
experiences
Whatever,
before.
whatever.
We'll talk about this offline, but we've already gotten through a kind of a lot this episode. We were gonna start with sports, but we kind of got into just like
Life, yeah, we're
Regular
just talking about it
things.
like regular, degular.
yeah. I think a lot of things have happened in the sports world lately. Obviously, we can start with the Thunder winning their first ever NBA championship.
Yeah.
Not the way
No.
we all wanted it to
No,
go.
No.
One day of the Thunder win, great.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
And honestly, I bet you they'll say the same thing. They probably didn't want that to happen.
Of course
They
not.
wanted to win
No,
the
no.
right way.
And
I mean, not the wrong, but like just like
Yes,
they wanted to
yes.
win in
full strength,
light.
full strength,
Yeah,
full strength.
exactly.
Yeah, that's all you want.
yeah,
Obviously, super unfortunate what happened to Tyrese.
Very
He was
unfortunate.
hooping.
yeah.
It's almost like this has to happen. I remember, like you think of a few Achilles injuries. I don't know why, but my mind goes to Jalen Phillips, who was a Miami Dolphin, when he tore his Achilles against the Jets,
Because it was on that.
yeah, it was on like the Hard Knocks, whatever. Like he was mic'd up. He had like 3 sacks, like 2.
I didn't know his game was
Wow. 2 TFLs, and like he was on the ground, and he said, "Man, I was hooping, bro." Like he was. It almost like it's like you have to have like a good game. That's terrible.
KD was having a great game.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Tatum was having a great game.
Yes,
He had like 45.
Yeah, Tatum had a great game.
He was cooking.
I'm sure Kobe had a great game.
Yeah.
I don't really remember, but
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. He probably.
I mean, it was 2013.
He came off. Well, I know the game before he had played 48
Yeah.
minutes and had a great game.
Yeah.
So at least that happened.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
it's just so unfortunate.
When he saw it, you just knew exactly what.
He looked behind him.
How do you?
For those who don't know, and I mean, I don't know. It's just like experience stories that people tell and whatever. When you tear your Achilles, it feels like somebody stepped on the back of your foot.
Yeah, I mean, you had this experience with your hip.
Yeah,
right?
it was the same thing. So
Yeah.
if you ever need to know if somebody tore their Achilles or not, you can always see it. They will turn and look
back.
Because I mean, look, these are athletes. They've made these steps millions and billions of times, genuinely. And so when something feels slightly off, like we saw when Curry was dribbling the ball and the wood was off, remember?
Yeah, you can see
It's like
yeah.
they know this. So when something's slightly off, they're like, "What's going on?" Like that wasn't supposed to happen. So they always look behind, see who stepped on their foot, and then when they see nobody back there, it's like reality kind of sets in. Like
you saw him hitting the ground.
he knew, he knew.
Because at first, right, immediately, I always think of the best things. Like, okay, he slipped, and he's just upset he got the turnover.
That's what I thought.
We both thought. Cause
I
I
thought he
thought
just
the same thing. I thought he slipped.
And then Mike Breeden was like, and he's hurt. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
But
exactly.
even then, my mind didn't even. I don't know.
Because the camera went to the layup,
Yes,
right? And we're like, okay, maybe he just slipped, right?
That's
He
what
had
I
a good
thought.
thing,
Yeah.
but just see it. And it's just terrible. Like, you don't want that to happen ever. And the Pacers had brought so much.
Yeah.
Like, even though the Thunder are this new team, everyone should like them. No one really liked them, if I'm being honest.
No.
Everyone was just rooting for the Pacers because
100%,
they brought some energy. It just felt like, if they can win this, we'll remember this for the rest of our lives.
It's like everybody can. And like I'm sure Adam Silver would have liked that too. Because like he hates repeat champions.
No, we know that.
So he's like,
Second
if they can win, who's gonna win next year?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yay, you know.
Now the Thunder might win 3 of the next 5 years. Who knows? But
it's possible. We haven't had a repeat champ since 2018.
It's very hard. And that was with the KD Warriors, right? So like that team was unstoppable. They were just, bro, I don't know if you saw DeMarcus Cousins they were talking about. He said they would just come out, warm up 8 minutes before the game. Like, this is an NBA game. You were coming out 8 minutes before the game.
That's not okay.
That's like an AAU game when you have to warm up fast.
Yes.
Right? And like you're cold, but they're like, dude,
these NBA games, dude, they got hours if they want.
Hours.
If they want.
They can show up whenever they want to get shots up. Crazy.
And they were gonna win. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it's just really sad though.
Yeah.
And it's for us, everyone was geared up. Halliburton was playing so well. And it was like, this is going to be an epic game. Regardless of who wins, this is going to be an epic game.
This is just, it's going to get down to the last moment.
You knew it was.
Who's going to hit that big shot?
Yep.
That's what it felt like it was going. And I know it was early, and obviously there's a lot of conjecture, but it really felt like it was going to come down to it. And like, this is going to be that time in Game 7 that you see replays and highlights from for years and years.
Because we were talking about it. The Pacers, it was important the first few minutes for them, right?
Yeah.
If they were down 10-2, the game was probably over, right?
Problem.
But they came out firing, and OKC actually had to call the first timeout,
Yes.
even though it was an under media timeout. Whatever, they still called it.
Yeah,
They still called it.
They did.
It wasn't off a dead ball. But yeah, we were like, that was exactly what they needed. Tyrese hit that 3. He was already talking to the crowd, and it was just like
was that his third?
I think it was his third.
Or did he hit?
And he might have hit one after the timeout, but I'm not sure. But yeah, he was talking to the crowd.
He
He was taking early shot. Like, he wasn't passive at all.
Yeah.
And then to see it happen, and then the rest of the game goes there. The Pacers actually end up being up 1 at the end of the half.
Yep.
But I was listening to Zach Lowe. He was saying this. He was saying, how many points do you think the Pacers would score? Like, how many points do you think the Thunder would need to score to win the game in the second half? Because how many points were the Pacers actually going to score? That became the question. Because TJ McConnell can do a lot, but the reason why TJ is so good is because everything else is happening, right? The reason why Pascal is so good is because Tyrese is also on the floor making all this other stuff happen. When it becomes the McConnell show or the Siakam show, that doesn't work.
No.
And I think this is actually a great point. if you didn't think Tyrese Halliburton was a superstar or at least a high level star, watch that game. They're a different team.
Completely changed the trajectory.
Way different team. Yeah. And it was the same players besides him. You're like, where's Pascal Siakam? Well, he can't get the ball when they're all looking at him.
Yeah, he couldn't get a ball in a high leverage position. And in a easy
advantageous.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yep.
And Tyrese was able to like provide that for him.
Everything changes.
He's able to provide that for the whole team.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything changes.
TJ McConnell had a crazy game.
Yeah,
an absolutely insane game.
But he did nothing.
But like that's the absolute maximum that he could do.
And they were also trading buckets.
He also had so many turnovers too.
Well, because
it's not his game to be a star.
It's his game to come in, make a muck out of things, score baskets here, and just be a pest.
Right.
When it's his offense, it's not going to work. No. Right. So I thought that was a really good point in saying that, man, Halliburton really is good.
Super unfortunate that he's going to be missing next year.
This shows like the whole East is just wide open.
Oh, speaking of, like anybody who like kind of first give me who's going to be the 1 seed, and then give me a sneaky team who can actually take it all the way to the.
I think 1 seed will pretty easily be the Cavs. They're bringing back everything back, and they just traded for Lonzo, for Isaac Okoro, which again I don't know what the Bulls are doing, but whatever. Like take another contract if you want, not even get a pick or something back. Like, whatever. That's a whole different story. I think the Cavs will be the 1 seed. Pretty easily. But I think a team that's very interesting, I'm not going to say the Magic. I'm going to say the Atlanta Hawks.
Whoa.
I think they're going to be very interesting.
Like what seed?
I think it could be 4 seed. I think they could sneak their way into the conference finals next year. I wouldn't be surprised because think about this. You just made a great trade, first of all, in the draft to get an unprotected pick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about for singles.
Well, of course. Yeah. Sorry. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
They got an unprotected pick between the Pelicans and the Bucks. And listen, if the Pelicans think they're going to be good, they play in the West. And the Bucks are one Giannis injury away or one Giannis being like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore,
could be gone.
Away from both of them being top 4 picks and the Hawks getting whatever pick they want of that two, whichever one the worst one is. And honestly, this draft was good, but I mean, all I'm hearing is that next year's draft is even better.
Really?
That's what I know. Jay Billis said it. A couple other people said it. Yeah.
Who?
Devonsa, I guess Loser. Like, I don't know.
I think all those guys. I mean, we'll see.
I agree.
Super early.
I didn't think.
I think all those guys are so overrated.
I've heard that multiple times. That I thought it was just me. I thought this year's draft.
Devonta already sounds like a sounds like a diva.
He needs someone in his face.
And he's also not. I wish he would go to a blue blood and like get kind of like
So
have that realization.
Well, that's your situation. Do you go to a blue blood or do you go to a place that's going to pay you more money?
No. Again, if I'm him, I'm doing exactly what he did. Go get the money, man.
Yeah.
Money is not guaranteed. Injuries and career is never guaranteed. If you can get the money, get the money. I just think in terms of his actual like career development, he is already I saw him mic'd up in a game.
Oh, we all.
And he
did.
was
horrible.
He got like a double team. Number 1 player in the country. He got double teamed. Why are you guys double teaming me? Why are you double teaming me? I was like, dude, you're the number 1 player in the country. And I think the defender was like, what do you want us to do?
You're the best player on the team.
We can't guard you one-on-one.
Yep.
And he's like complaining about it. And like, I don't know. I know it's a very small
thing.
thing.
He said, I'm going to the league.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to the league. Like, why do you have to do this to me?
Yeah.
I know it's a small thing, but like that really set something in me where I'm like, dude, this guy already sounds like a diva.
Never did that.
No, of course. What did Kobe say? Better send another.
Yeah, you send a third.
Yeah. So and
I'm still pulling that.
Yeah, exactly. So like I just think that if he went to a blue blood, he would be that realization of like, oh my God, everybody is as good or
or I have to play with criticism. I'm playing in big games.
Right. Yeah. And so like when he goes to BYU, he's going to be the best player on the team. He might be the best player they've ever had.
And probably ever will have.
And he's going to get all the treatment, all the start. You're great, you're this, you're that, you're playing against weaker competition. He's gonna average 20-something points a game, maybe. And then when it comes down to tournament time, or maybe those points
I could low-key see him not even averaging 20.
Oh yeah, fair.
Like I think the reason why is because I don't know how skilled he is. And again, I haven't looked too much at it, but sometimes those guys in high school are just bigger than everybody, stronger and more athletic, right? Especially, he is from Utah, right?
Yes, he is.
I don't know how good the high school basketball system
not California,
is over there.
It's not New York.
Yeah, that was also one of the biggest deals about Cooper Flagg and the reason why he went to Montverde the year, because you're playing in Maine. It's like, okay, you're good, but you're playing in Maine.
He's Cooper Flagg's the second guy ever to get drafted from Maine.
Yeah, exactly, right? So he knew to like
number one guy in the country
to validate his credibility. Right. He wasn't even number one in the country, right? I think he made it to number one, or was he not?
All I know is he reclassified and was still number one.
Okay,
still,
yeah, that's crazy.
Like that. That's
maybe I was thinking about somebody else, but yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, that is what I think, right? You never know. This guy could just be bigger than everyone, right? And when you start playing, even if you're playing BYU, I think they're in the Big 12, so that's like still a good conference, I would say. Yeah. But even if you are like just playing up against college athletes, or even now because college athletes are men, could be 24. Like there's people who are 24. I mean,
Baker Mazzara.
Exactly. Yeah, he's coming back
27.
Baker Mazzara is saying this is my house, whatever. And
dude, Baker Mazzara, Chad Baker Mazzara in Auburn has a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like, that's how old he is.
Yeah, you never know. Like playing against real men, he might not have it like that. And if he's gonna be that way, like the difference between him and Cooper Flagg, like the way Cooper Flagg gonna be like, so why are you sending two people at me?
Yeah,
like he wants to hoop and he wants to be the best.
It's a mindset thing.
You never know.
Love the game. You also, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. That also, for some reason, that shows me low IQ. Like, what do you mean? Why are you sending two at me?
I know, 100%.
I know it's annoying, but like, you should be like,
yeah,
that's your best.
Yeah,
defensive strategy to send two at me. Let somebody else beat. I understand that.
In your huddle. Okay, they're sending two at me because they can't guard me. I'm gonna get everybody involved,
dude.
This is great. We're playing 4-on-3.
That's what winners do. And he did not do that.
Speaking,
I can see him scoring a good amount of points. Honestly, averaging a good amount of points because the natural ability is there.
Yeah,
the skills. I'm with you. I need to see it first, but the natural ability is obviously there. I think his points won't contribute to wins. Similar to an Ace Bailey who averaged, I think, like 18 or 19.
I really didn't know he averaged that much.
It was
Dylan Harper averaged like 19.
I mean, like I don't think they passed either of them, or if anything, they passed
19. They each averaged 19, and how many wins did they have?
And that's what I'm saying. They weren't even close to being a tournament team. So
which is insane.
Two top 5 picks. And 2 of the top 5 prospects too.
Honestly, probably 2 of the top 3 initial prospects. Right.
The 2 and 3.
People were saying Ace Bailey could be the number 1 pick at the start of the year.
100%. Yeah. There was a real debate, and they didn't make it to the tournament. And this is college. This is basketball, not hockey, not baseball, where you need a whole great team. You could make it to the tournament off one guy.
Yep.
Think about all these Carson Edwards. I know that was a little bit different. Yeah. Purdue actually was a pretty solid team.
Yeah.
But like all these guys, they could. Buddy Hield, I think, is a great one because who else was on that team?
Oklahoma was I think they were like top 5 when he was there, and then he left as a senior. And they're unranked.
They were terrible,
and it wasn't like they lost.
Buddy Hield took him to that team. Took him to the promised land. Took him to the Final Four.
Took him to the tournament. Yeah, exactly. He did.
So like
that's the difference.
So if you have 2 guys and you couldn't make it there, that's I don't know. That says a lot.
Couldn't even make it to the tournament.
And
they played in the Big East. It wasn't like
they were in the
SEC.
Yes,
it was what UConn wasn't even that good. Creighton,
Creighton.
They're not insane teams. St. John's is the only really good team out of there.
That's
right?
it. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah. Anyway,
what do you think about?
Speaking of Ace,
I know we talk about the draft. So 1-2 made sense, right? This is the NBA draft. Cooper Flagg went 1.
100%.
No surprise there. Dylan Harper went 2.
I love the pick.
VJ Edgecombe goes 3, which I like.
I think he's I think he's a great player, and I think it's actually a great fit for him as well because he's not like a scorer. Mm-hmm. He's not I need the ball in my hands, and on a team like the Sixers where you're probably going to be maybe the 4th or 5th option. You're not going to get the ball in your hands, and so I can see him actually really like clamping down defensively,
just doing what it takes to win,
being a serious lob threat at 6'4".
But they have already I
love that.
I kind of like what they're doing, and because they already have someone in Jared McCain who's kind of the same way. It's like Jared McCain is not a super big guard, but he just figured out what he needed to do, and that's what I love. Right?
Find your.
He figured out he needed to be able to This is so simple. Again, it isn't simple. Damn, I always mess it up. It isn't easy, but it is simple. Right.
I was trying to do the math.
I was trying to think about it too.
That
right?
Sounds right.
Again, it isn't easy, but it is simple. Right? Like if you really want to be in the NBA, can you shoot threes and play defense? That's it.
No, but not yes. Also, can you grab a rebound?
Yep. Do the things. Do the things that just do everyday basketball things. Because
it's the effort things.
Yep.
And
we'll talk more about this.
All these coaches are right.
And they're right.
It's the effort
We'll talk more about this as we go. So 4 was Con Knipple, which I like, right? I don't like that for Khan because he goes to a tough team.
I
but
do think four
Yeah.
Khan at 4 is a little high.
Yeah, it was higher than I expected to. He was rising for sure.
I think he's a winner. You
Yeah.
can tell like that you're drafting a winner.
Yeah.
And Charlotte needs that, so I understand the pick, and I think he'll fit in day one to this.
Oh yeah, he'll be able to shoot. He's
Like
LaMelo will get him great.
if you
shots.
if you can
Or
shoot
Melo.
if you can shoot, you're gonna be playing.
Yep.
And he's also a pretty solid defender and a ball handler as well.
Yeah.
I just think 4 is a little high.
Yeah, he definitely went high, but I think kind of teams are scared off because the guy who was supposed to go number 3, if not number 4, Ace Bailey, was telling teams that he was not going to play for them if he got picked in the top 5. And when's the last time you've heard someone do that? That's the only person who could maybe do that. Like now, maybe Cooper Flag could do that, but probably not even him.
No.
LeBron, maybe the only person.
I don't think anybody could
probably
do it.
can't. No, I know. I'm saying.
Yeah,
no.
you know what? I hear you. I don't think anybody can do it. I don't think anybody ever should do that. I think 99.99% of people will be like, "What are you?"
It's literally, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Like, who do you think
you're not Kobe,
are?
bro. You're not.
You're not anybody. But honestly, you're not anybody. You scored 18 points on a losing team.
Yeah.
You're going to say, I don't want to get drafted in the top 5? Also, how many people in this world dream about getting drafted anywhere? Even if you got drafted at 57.
And the thing is...
And you're going to give away a spot. That's
1000%.
ridiculous.
The thing is, it's not even... I mean, yes, obviously it is him, but it's his agent... Who is something Cooper?
Yeah.
Sharif Cooper's dad.
That's a next step. I want to before you get to the agent part. We'll keep that.
Okay. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I blame him.
Yeah.
I blame the agent too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So,
It's more who he has around himself, but we'll talk about that in a second.
100%.
The reason why I wanted to hit on what I was saying before is that to get to the NBA, right? Shoot threes, get rebounds, play defense, right?
Okay.
If you're 6'7", 6'8", it's perfect, right? And the one thing that I want to say to Ace Bailey and to his camp, like, Ace really might end up being a great, great player. He could. But listen, most people in the NBA can't get into their bag, take turnaround fades, floaters. There's 8 guys, 10 guys in the league who can actually, number one option, can get in their bag, break down a defense. Everybody else has to fit into a role.
Jordan Poole thinks he's in that age.
Exactly.
But
of course, they lose, right?
He's not.
Yeah, he's not. Like, Jordan Clarkson, people like that. But honestly, like, that is kind of their, quote, role.
Of course.
But they're not.
To make it
they're
happen.
not stars,
No,
right?
no.
Ace Bailey wants to be a star number one option. Like, you can't. There's 10 guys in that. Like, Jason Tatum, Luka Doncic, Ant Edwards, people like that.
Future Hall of Famers. And even if you're
near.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not at all.
Like, I don't care how good you were. It's a completely different
NBA is
ballgame.
way different than Rutgers.
Oh my God. It's completely different.
Like, you think you can go to the Wizards and average 20 against guys, grown men who've been in the league forever, and who now they see you and they're like, this guy's disrespecting the NBA. This is how I want to act towards it.
He's disrespecting my business.
Yeah, he thinks it's easy. Oh, I'm just going to go and play for a bad team on the Wizards and put up 25.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's easy to go walk out of bed and put up 25 points a game in the NBA?
God, no. Oh my God. I don't think when was the last time you scored 25?
Yeah. Last time I scored 25 in a game, I never scored 25 in a game.
I don't think, dude,
most I scored, I think, 21.
Yes,
like,
there you go.
So that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like, he thinks, or his camp thinks, and he might grow into this, which is great. But his camp thinks he's gonna come on and be a 20-point per game scorer as a rookie. It's just easy. And anyone can do it.
Like Paolo, Zion.
Yep.
I think Blake Griffin were like the last guys to average 20 plus as a rookie.
Oh, they all did. Okay, yeah. I thought it even took Paolo a year. I think Paolo averaged
19
20 exactly.
I think he's 19 point. I'm talking about Paolo Banchero, who's
way better
fantastic.
than Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
Paolo Banchero, who took a team to the Final Four at the end. Like,
yes.
Even though it was a great team, you still have to win. And that's what I was always talking about. Like, this mentality and attitude is just like you're being a loser. Like, you're showing people that you don't care.
Mentality.
Like, why would, I want to get picked as high as I want to pick. Why? Dylan Harper, let me go to the Spurs. We're winning. We're going to win. Let me go to the 76ers. Listen, I don't care. I'm playing with Joel Embiid. I'm playing with Tyrese Maxey. Listen, I want to learn.
I could get a chip out of this.
Exactly. I get a chip. Joel Embiid's probably done in 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years, the team could be mine.
If we're being lucky.
If we're being lucky.
Oh, sorry. If we're being... whatever. Best case
Yeah,
scenario.
exactly. 4 or 5 years, the team can be mine. I'm gonna learn from a lot of great people, a lot of great vets, all that stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, playoff P, maybe not, but whatever. Who
Still a
knows?
vet.
Yeah,
Still
and
a
he was
vet.
great player. So
300 mil.
it goes back to kind of what you were saying, and you would talk more about it, about his agent, his representation, who he has around him, because that is also important in your own life too. Like that's kind of applicable to all areas of your life.
You are always, don't forget this. But you are always the sum of your closest 5 friends.
Absolutely. And before you get into that, like who's his agent, people like that, you kind of mentioned it.
Of course, no. I just want to preface.
Hey,
Don't worry about me, boy.
I don't want to. Hey, listen.
Don't worry about me, boy.
But I just want to make sure I steered on the right ship.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You are some of the 5 people, your 5 closest people around you.
Yep.
Okay? Don't forget that. I know, okay, maybe this person might be a little bit different, but blah, blah, blah. They are associated with you. If somebody doesn't like that person, if that person does some bad things, it's a reflection of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there is an authority, there is a, this is my thing, a responsibility, right?
Yeah, good word.
Ace Bailey is being represented by Sharif Cooper's dad. Sharif Cooper was a former NBA player. I don't know if I can call him.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can call him before NBA. He played for about 12 minutes?
Yeah, barely. I don't know. And he was really good.
And he was really good.
He was a little small, but he was really good.
Very good player. Probably should have been in the league.
Probably should still be in the NBA. But you look at people like, you look at TJ McConnell, look at people like that. Of course. Like, he's more skilled than all of them.
He could be in the league, right? And this guy, Sharif Cooper's dad, is Ace Bailey's agent, which,
doesn't even add up.
Again, it's not like he's Rich Paul, who's like a big-time super agent. I think he's only represented maybe Sharif Cooper.
No, he's only represented Sharif Cooper, I'm pretty sure.
So
and he's not certified. So NBA gives, there are certified agents or things you have to do to become certified NBA in the NBA, right? As an agent.
Yeah.
Of course he's not.
Of course
he's just
not.
a guy.
Of course, because why would he be?
He's just a guy.
Not like he's dealing with a potential, Hall of Fame type of prospect, right? No. This is why it's frustrating. Sharif Cooper's dad is telling Ace Bailey that he doesn't want to play on certain teams. How frustrating is that?
It's ridiculous. How can someone else's dad, who's not even an agent, who has no idea how the NBA process works, and it's not like his son is still in the league. Like, his son flamed out, one of the bigger flameouts in the NBA as far as like, man, this guy's really good. Like, he's a good guy, right? Of course, there's more busts, but, he's good. Yeah. How does he have the right to be telling this kid this and to be possibly ruining his lucrative NBA career?
So lucrative. This kid, Ace Bailey, could be a great. He literally has, you can't say that about everybody.
Yeah.
He has that kind of potential. Where
it's different than Sharif Cooper.
Yes. Oh, 100%. He could be a great. Yeah. I don't think Con Knipple is going to be a great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Ace Bailey has that.
Yeah.
Sort of potential.
It's the stuff where you can't teach. The 6'7",
right.
the scoring ability,
the flash, right,
yeah.
100%. So tell me why. Again, and this is really my biggest question. Sharif Cooper's dad is telling him to do one thing. Okay. I think that's super terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Is there nobody else around this kid who's going to be like, hey, maybe don't listen to that guy?
Yeah. Hey, there's a lot of negative press about you. Everyone's kind of being like, what are you doing? Yeah. Why are we following this guy again? Why would you not want to get picked to the 76ers?
Always ask questions, people.
Why do you want to play that? This is the number one thing I saw too. He only wanted to play for the Wizards or the Nets. Like, why do you want to play on a bad team? Like, this should actually be like for Cooper Flag and for Dylan Harper and even for Ace Bailey. This should have been a godsend because normally you get picked as the number 1, number 2, number 3 picks on horrible teams.
The worst teams.
Horrible teams.
The worst teams, perpetually bad.
That even you going there is not going to change.
No.
They're bad, and they've been bad forever.
And it's a franchise thing.
When have the Wizards been good? 1970.
I can't remember the last time, like in early 2010s.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the last time they were okay.
They were okay. They weren't like good.
No.
Yeah, they were like, oh my God, watch out for the Wizards.
The Wizards are perpetually bad, okay? Yep. Normally the Wizards, and they probably should have been, are going to be a top 2, top 3 pick. They had the number 2 pick last year, right? And so for the first time, I think since I've seen it, the top 3 teams are actually significant playoff teams. Good,
especially with the Sixers now with the East too. Yeah,
not bordering. Yep. Like, these are playoff teams.
It's not the Pelicans or those. Yeah,
Blazers. Okay, maybe I can see.
Yeah.
No, dude, the Mavs. I know Kyrie's going to be out for a while, but the Mavs are a great team. The Spurs are an even better team.
Now they're on a great time.
And the Sixers could be the number 1 seed in the East.
Yeah, exactly.
This should be your. Oh my!
I got lucky this year. I can't believe it.
This has never happened.
I get to go to a playoff team.
This has never happened. This never probably will happen again.
Yep.
And you're saying no.
Saying no. Saying no.
Why?
Because he wants to be on the Wizards. He wants to play on the Nets and be on a team where he can average 25 and get a bunch of shots. But the reality is, what's most important in any sport, or honestly anything, is how does the team do? How does your company do, right? Because if you're putting up great numbers, but your company is losing revenue, that doesn't matter.
Team bonuses.
Exactly. Team bonuses, or also you might be out of a job because the company might be going under.
It's true.
You might be averaging 25, but you win 14 games in a year. Like,
doesn't matter.
The front office is going to look and say, well, either we're going to trade this guy, or this guy is just putting up empty stats on a bad team. Like look at LaMelo.
Oh yeah.
LaMelo's supposed to be really good, but he doesn't get the notoriety or recognition he should because they suck.
They lose every game.
Like, so what if you're putting up 35 a game? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all about the team, and it's all about the team elevates you. If Ace was averaging 14 points on a great Sixers team that goes to the Western Conference Finals.
Eastern,
thank you.
You're welcome.
That's way better than him averaging 27 points on a Brooklyn Nets team that wins 12 games.
27 is crazy for a rookie.
Okay,
I think that would be the record.
I'm just saying.
I hear you. Like 21.
Yeah.
22. I think that
exactly.
That's also more
on mid efficiency, probably like
terrible efficiency.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, him and Cam Thomas, I would hate to see them being teammates.
Dude, horrible. Like, because if Ace starts playing like that, you know what he turns himself into? He turns himself into a sixth man. He turns himself into Cam Thomas, Jordan Clarkson, those guys who, are microwaves off the bench, but that's all they are.
That's all they're
not
be.
Superstars.
They're not all-stars. They're not potential Hall of Famers. They're not MVPs. And that's where he wants to be.
Yep.
And you know what? I think he got drafted to an interesting team because Utah isn't as bad as, Washington or Brooklyn. But they're obviously not as good as a Philly or San Antonio or Dallas. So I'm interested. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
Because he has the opportunity to do something. I don't think Utah's going to make the playoffs. Not in the West. There's way too many teams.
Yeah, no.
But I think that he can vie for.
Yep.
It can get a little hairy towards the end. Maybe they can get the 11th seed right.
They could be pesky. They could be an annoying.
100%. Him and
Bill Simmons calls it. They could be a league pass team. A team that you
league pass team.
Like, oh, this kind of nice to watch.
Right.
What I really do love though is that Danny Ainge was just like, I don't care. Like,
yeah. Ace Bailey,
don't pick me in the first 5.
Ace Bailey said he didn't want to be in the drafted in the top 5, so that includes Utah.
Yeah.
And Danny Ainge, the GM of the Utah Jazz, was like, I don't care.
He's been a GM of the Celtics when they picked Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
And don't forget, he traded the Celtics had the number 1 pick in 2018, I believe.
Yep.
When
Markelle
Fultz was number 1. Danny Ainge traded down from 1 to 3.
Yep.
And got Jason Tatum.
But that's who he was going to pick the whole time.
The whole time he was going to pick him.
The whole time
you
look back.
And he also did the KG trade. The Paul Pierce, all the Nets.
That's how they got Jaylen Brown.
Exactly. Dude, he's great.
Isn't it crazy that you look back at that draft, and we'll wrap this up.
Which one?
Like the one you were just talking about, the Tatum one.
Yeah.
It's like, how is Tatum not the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
Now that you see the league, right? Like, you need to be big, right? Markelle Fultz was a point guard who couldn't shoot.
I honestly look. I think obviously hindsight is always 20.
Yeah.
I can see Lonzo. He's a big guard.
No, I can see Lonzo more than Markelle.
A big guard.
Yeah.
He can't defend with a lick.
And
But
great passer.
Great, fantastic
No, now
passer.
he can defend, though.
No, now we can.
Okay,
He couldn't back then.
Yeah,
he really couldn't.
No, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a solid shooter with a weird jump shot. I could see him like, okay, we'll mold him. Magic kept saying he's gonna be the next Magic. That's when he was a GM.
Yeah.
God, those years, I ain't gonna be here.
Good.
Oh man, Magic. Those were some rough years. But Markelle Fultz, I remember because that's when I was really watching college basketball heavy because I was a big Duke guy watching Tatum all the time. I was like, I've never even seen this Markelle Fultz.
Yeah, in Washington, like non-Power
They
5.
They didn't make it to the tourney.
Yeah,
I didn't see Markelle
Again,
Fultz.
if you're really that good, you should be making the tournament. There's 64 teams who make it, guys.
You know, I have another number one pick.
Yeah, sorry, I took it from you. Yeah.
Come on, man. That's
Go
annoying.
ahead.
But yes, Ben Simmons is another number one pick who was at LSU. He did not make it to the tourney.
Look at him.
Look at him now.
Also, his grades sucked and he went to LSU.
Look at him now.
Like, not even LSU being a bad school,
Same.
but like the treatment you get as a high-level sports athlete at any of these schools, especially LSU, right? Who has like a football team back,
Right.
like
They're used to it.
they're used to it.
They know what it's like.
If you really can't pass classes,
You're not trying.
you're not trying.
You're not
and
trying.
especially when you're
not,
done and done.
not even trying.
Yeah.
It's just like
not trying
showing
at all.
up.
Yep, probably not going.
You're
Yep.
literally not even showing.
Why'd you go to class? I don't know. And something that a lot of people don't know is that, especially in the one and done era now, right? You only have to be in school technically for the first semester. So once the first semester goes by and you pass your class, hopefully,
Yeah.
because again, these teachers want to pass you.
Of course.
They want you to be the field, but like, it's
Yeah.
they're
like, hey,
bro,
come on now.
Yeah,
Like,
I
come on.
can't do anything.
How,
at this point.
like, come on.
I can't
now.
fake this. Like, for my own
these
integrity as
teachers
a teacher.
these professors are like, oh my god, this is a future NBA
Yeah,
player.
exactly.
Here, like future NFL guy.
I don't want to mess anything up.
No, of course not.
But yeah, so you only have to finish your first
They know the
semester, and then you
rules.
can withdraw
Yeah.
once the season ends because your grades won't matter at the end of
Yeah.
the year because you're going to the league.
Right.
Yet he couldn't. Yeah, Ben Simmons couldn't do it.
Nope. And it was actually so funny.
No wonder why.
It was so funny when they asked all the Florida people, the Florida basketball team after they won the
my
national
God,
championship.
yeah, dude.
They're like, "Oh, so what do you do about school?" They're like, "Man, I ain't got school, or it's all online."
Online,
It's
bro.
online.
COVID was 17 years
Yeah.
ago now. Like,
Oh, yeah,
we don't have we stopped having online classes
all-
the year
dude,
after.
No, we had some online classes,
Okay.
and everybody knows if you have an online class, you know what that means.
We
It
know.
don't matter. It don't matter.
It's like Zoom. It's like work from home.
Oh yeah,
What are we
camera,
doing?
dude, camera off.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Work from home is literally day off.
Hey, keep that low key. Huh?
Low.
No, we work very hard. Always.
We work very hard.
Always.
And we love our jobs.
All
the time.
Always.
Damn, sports and life. But
man.
yeah, NBA draft is up. We're gonna start thinking more into football, looking more into football.
Gotta make that transition.
It's kind of gonna be exciting. You know, right now
There's
we're in that
so much to
sports.
say.
Right now we're in that sports.
whatever the
place.
opposite of equinox is.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. It's just baseball.
Downtrodden.
Baseball. I think they were showing like some like flag football league at ESPN. They were showing like the eating contest. It's like I don't want to watch that.
I do want to see Joey Chestnut.
I just want to see the end of it. I
defend
don't
his
want to
title.
watch it. I don't wanna watch it.
God no.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
It's on ESPN. It's like they're eating all these hot dogs, like dipping it in water. It's like,
I'm
bro,
good. Dude, I'm about to eat.
dude, it's crazy. So, like, you know, now we're in that sort of sports area where there's not much to talk about.
Just regular season baseball.
We're gonna make up stuff. We're gonna try to figure things out.
I think we're gonna do some football things.
yeah, of course.
And like I think it's gonna be super interesting. At least I hope you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna try to
Let us
like
know.
integrate a bit more sports at the forefront of
Yeah.
these next couple. See how that works.
Yeah.
but try to integrate the life advice with it as we kind of
Always,
right?
because sports is life. Life
Yep.
is sports. You can't have one without the other.
That really might be the way to go. I think I really like that. Right?
What?
Sports is life. Life is sports. Whatever. Like
100%.
Let's do that. But yeah,
Can't have one without the other.
this is a great episode. I really did enjoy it.
This was a fun episode.
Yeah, we
Kinda just
actually, if
yapped.
you guys don't know, we had a lot of cuts because
So many cuts.
the software wasn't working.
Shout out Riverside.
Riverside, please help
Figure
us
it
out,
out.
get
yeah.
better.
Come on now.
But yeah, we had a good time. Challenge of the week.
Challenge of the week. Okay. Write down your 5 closest friends, and write down.
It's not even your 5 closest friends, just the 5 people you think you spend the most time.
Okay, fine. Yeah, write down the 5 people you spend the most time with. Really evaluate if these people make you better,
Yep.
if they elevate who you are. Because look, life is short.
Yep.
Do not spend it dragging somebody along. Okay, come on.
That's important. You're the sum of the people you're around, and
We can't do that anymore.
when you are, right, like even though you think you might be bigger than it, oh yeah, it's not going to be me, it just ends up being you just because of the people you're around.
Yep.
Right. So don't let that, influence you and take you the wrong way when you're trying to do your best, but you're around people who might not be pushing you to be your best. Right. And that's always a hard truth for a lot of people to face.
Yep.
And as you go forward in your life and you try to build the best life you always wanted to, that is like what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to make hard decisions. You're gonna have to cut people out that you don't want to, and you're gonna have to find people
it's
who
not
are going
fun.
to push you to be better.
It's not fun, but I guess it's not easy.
It isn't necessarily easy.
Yes. No, this is actually much more difficult than going to the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's a very long-winded challenge of the week.
Yep.
And with that,
We'll see y'all next week. Stay locked.